who's going to regulate first. Not who's going to dysregulate first and attack first, but who's going to regulate first. Like maybe that's the question we need to ask ourselves. Who can regulate first?
That's a great question. And this sort of transition into masculine conversation, and the full responsibility that it takes to be a man in relationship and in this world. And I'd like to say that it's the man's responsibility first, and also recognizing that I'm not perfect and that sometimes I need support in these ways too. So I guess I'm curious to ask you about that. Do you have an answer to that question? Because I'd like to stand here and say it's going to be me always, and it's not.
Yeah, realistically, it won't be. I think that's a improbability and maybe not an impossibility, but I think it's just unrealistic. There's so many different ways you can take this. So you can look at the masculine, you say, well, the masculine leads, right? And the feminine, also the domain of the feminine is connection and intimacy and relationship, right? And so if that's her domain, then perhaps it's the feminine that quote unquote needs to lead when that's happening. Look, it's two humans having an experience. I believe overall, when the masculine contains, right, and the masculine is containment and expresses itself in that leadership, that's very powerful. And that couple or that union really has to have agreed upon conditions that which how they function with each other. But there are going to be times where as a man you feel broken and you feel hurt and the world is heavy on you. Could you move through that and lead? Absolutely. And if your woman came to you and held you and just said, I've got you, it's okay, I've got you, and was compassionate and loving, would that not be sweet and useful and generative and maybe growth promoting for you and for the relationship? So what's wrong with that? Nothing's wrong with that. But if you're constantly being led as a man and you're passive, you're indecisive, and you're not taking responsibility and accountability, that's when it becomes a problem. But let's address all that stuff first before we go into a masculine energetic of leadership.